Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Roads of Oz. My name is Matt, and on this episode, a bit of reminiscing. Very early on in the channel, I had a Suzuki GS125, which I bought because it was the cheapest bike on Gumtree. It cost me all of 50 bucks, and that's pretty much how I started building up my channel, was actually by trying to get this bike to run, even though it only cost 50 bucks. Now, I had some success. I did get it running, and it was rideable, but it did need to be a full restoration. I wasn't sure which way I was going to go with it initially. I was going to either make it a cafe racer, race it in the commuter light series, or just restore it back to original. And all of these ideas were really appealing. So I stripped it all down, and I was going to have the frame and swing arm re-sprayed. Things changed. COVID come along and actually screwed things right up. But the silver lining was I found a complete bike that just needed a motor. I ended up putting it in and it was running. Now, due to COVID, I sold quite a few of my cheaper bikes. I sold my Laro 350, I sold the GS125, and most of you won't know this, but I've had Suzukis in my garage at some point pretty much for the last 25 years. Prior to the GS125, I had a DR200 pretty much from the year 2000 all the way up to 2016, and ended up replacing that bike with the Hasselberg TU300. Fast forward to 2023, I started to get the desire to get another bike I could tinker with in the garage. Now, I've got plenty of bikes here I do tinker with, but I wanted one I could actually learn how to fix and not be worried about losing, and not be too worried about screwing up on it. I know my limitations, and I can fix some things I can't. So I'm pretty careful on what I do. Now, I wanted a bike that I wanted to be able to have a go on most things, apart from getting into the bowels of the motor. I've had real success with Suzuki, so I thought I'd get myself another little Suzuki. Now, I really miss that GS125, so I thought, why not get another Suzuki? And that's just what I did. So here is my 1986 GS XR 1100. There's a bit of a story to how I acquired this bike, and what it was, one of my friends was offered two GSXRs for a really good price, and he offered it to me. He said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Oh, I would be," but that price was still a little bit much, and I didn't have the space to store two GSXR 1100s. So he ended up taking the deal and buying both of them a few months later. He contacts me and he shows me the photos, and I said, "Look, I'm keen on one of them. Which one do you want?" Because I'd have either one. One was the black with gold rims, which was an 88, and the one I'm going to get is actually an 86. So it's one of the first of the GSXR 1100s. He took the black option, and I was quite happy with that because I really wanted the 86. Anyway, that's where we're going. We're going to pick it up. He's brought it back. It was out at Bathurst. He's gone and picked them up, and I'm just going to his place, which isn't as far, luckily. And I'll be picking up my very own GSXR 1100. All right, so I picked her up, and she's in the back there on the bike trailer. And just going to get her home, where we're going to go over it and have a quick look over it and talk more about what my plans are for it. Well, it's a glorious sunset, but that's not much good to having a proper look at the bike. So we'll get it in the garage and actually have a closer look at it. Does look good in the back though. Here it is. It looks better on camera and in the photos. You will see some on Instagram, but the reality is it does need a few things. So I haven't gone right through the bike. I bought it actually as a non-runner, so I'm in no rush to get this done. And what are my short-term plans for it? Well, just park it up in the garage, and when I get motivated to tinker with it, that's what I've got to do. Now, as you all know, got plenty of other bikes I need to get finished. Like I need to finish the GPZ 750, fix the leaks on that, and I've got a Dharma, which some of you have been waiting for me to finish for almost 5 years now. It's getting closer, I promise. I know what you're all thinking, why would I buy this? Well, the opportunities to get these early model GSXR 1100s are getting harder and harder. Pristine examples are going for big dollars, and rougher ones are getting harder to find. Now, the problem these poor sports bikes had is with sports bikes, the first owner is meticulous, the second owner looks after it. When you get to the third and fourth owner, these bikes are a lot cheaper. Problem is the maintenance costs are still the same, even though the bike is depreciated rapidly. What you normally find on bikes is some dodgy fixes, and the GSXR 1100 was no different. Problem with these, a lot of them were crashed, a lot of them had the motor stripped out of them and put into stupid things like goat cars, sidecars, and turned into drag bikes. It's very rare you get one that's actually in original condition like this. So you go along it and it's got things like the original tailpiece. These are quite expensive and getting hard to come by. It's got a nice aftermarket laser exhaust, which I don't mind it on the bike. The colour scheme looks like one of the early colour schemes. Well, they're all early. But it's a typical, it looks very 80s. The paintwork, it's all chipped and it needs to be resprayed. But my first thing, I want to learn how to do things. I'm going to learn how to rebuild brakes, rebuild shocks, and I think this is a great guinea pig bike, so to speak, for me to do all that. I'm not going to be doing too much on this too early. I've got too much to do on the other bikes. So this is my first proper 80s sports bike. I've never had one like this before. The GPZ was close. I really don't class the 600 Super Sport as a proper sports bike. It's a nice bike, it's sporty, but not to the same level as the GSXRs, ZXRs. Now, I would have loved a first generation ZXR, but prices for them are just through the roof. So when this one come up, it was a very good price. I've never had a Japanese big bore 1100, so this should be quite exciting. I have had positive results working on Suzukis before, so hopefully this one will be no different, but time will tell, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing if I can get it up and running. I'm actually looking forward to the challenge. Anyway, that's pretty much it from me. Thanks very much for watching. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel massively. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.